1950. Birth of a Nobody. Vincent Moretti was born in the slums of Brooklyn, New York, in a rundown tenement where the walls peeled and the air smelled of whiskey and regret. His father, Sal Moretti, was a failed gambler drowning in debt. His mother, Anna, worked 2 jobs, cleaning diners during the day and stitching clothes at night, just to keep the lights on. From the moment Vince entered the world, he was born to lose. 1961. Death changes a boy, age 11. One night, Vince's father came home bloodied and beaten, mumbling about owing the wrong people money. The next morning, Vince woke up to find his mother crying on the floor. Sal had been found dead in an alley with a bullet in his head. That was the first time Vince felt the world's cruelty. By 11, he was already hustling on the streets, running packages for local bookies, stealing from shopkeepers, and doing whatever it took to bring money home. 1966. First betrayal, age 16. Vince and his best friend Frankie DeLuca ran small-time scams together, dreaming of escaping Brooklyn. One day, they got their chance, a score worth $5,000, robbing a backroom poker game run by low-level mobsters. It went off without a hitch, until Frankie disappeared with all the cash. Vince was left broke, beaten, and hunted. He spent the next 2 years doing dirty work for Jimmy the Rat Carbone, a loan shark who had Vince collecting debts, breaking kneecaps, and learning the real cost of loyalty. 1970. Love and loss, age 20. Despite the dirt he waded through, Vince found love in a waitress named Evelyn Russo. She made him believe he could be more than a thug. For the first time in his life, Vince tried to go straight, working at a garage, making honest money. But the past doesn't let go so easily. Jimmy the Rat got greedy and framed Vince for a robbery he had nothing to do with. Vince was sentenced to 3 years in prison. Evelyn promised to wait for him, but when he got out in 1973, she was gone, married to another man. Vince had lost everything again. 1974. The Miracle. Age 24. With nowhere to turn, Vince got a miracle. A nightclub owner, Leo Romano, took him in. Leo was connected, deep in the underworld, running gambling rings, smuggling operations, and high-end clubs. And Vince learned fast. By 1978, he wasn't just surviving, he was thriving. 3 clubs, smuggling operations, a growing reputation. For the first time in his life, Vince was winning. He had more money than he can count. 1981. The ultimate betrayal, age 31. Vince had built an empire, but power breeds enemies. Leo Romano, the man who gave him everything, set him up, framing Vince for skimming profits. The mob wanted him dead. Vince barely escaped, fleeing to Las Vegas with nothing but the clothes on his back. For the 3rd time, he had lost everything. 1983. The Final Rise, age 33. Vegas was a city built for gamblers, and Vince was the best there was. He clawed his way back by any means necessary, playing cards, running hustles, and eventually buying a stake in a casino. By 1990, he was a multi-millionaire, rubbing elbows with the elite, running a casino, and untouchable. He had beaten the odds. 1995, The Penthouse, age 45. Vince Moretti sat in his penthouse, staring out at the Vegas skyline. A golden sunset painted the city in reds and oranges, casting long shadows over the empire he had built. He took a sip of whiskey, breathing in the view. From a Brooklyn slum to a Vegas high-rise, he had done it. All the pain, all the losses, all the betrayals. And yet, here he was, still standing, still winning. But Vince should have known the past never stays buried. As he sat in his penthouse, a familiar voice walked in. Frankie DeLuca. The same best friend who had betrayed him 30 years ago was back, smiling, like nothing had happened. Vince, it was never personal. Gunshot. The first shot ripped through his stomach. Gunshot. The second tore through his chest. Gunshot. The third, he didn't even feel it.